And just like that, Rex, the weekend.
Hey, my friend Darcy's watching.
What's that?
From Georgia. Darcy. Say hello to Darcy.
Hi, Darcy. She's down in Florida?
Georgia.
Oh, okay. Well, same
Yeah, she's
thing.
with family down there.
Same thing.
Yeah, it is. Georgia, Florida line, whatever. It's all the same.
And G's down there right now, too. He's
In a Speedo drinking coffee next to the pool.
no, he's not. He's in a Speedo, but he's not next. He is next to the pool. The pool on his yacht, which I don't know if you've.
What?
Oh yeah, he's got a yacht.
He's got, dude. Okay, all of a sudden
I
I'm gay.
didn't tell you that.
No, I'm gay, dude. If that guy's got a yacht, I'm definitely gay now. I could go with the flow. I'm going. The things I would do to go on a yacht in Florida.
You know I'm gonna have that clip cut out where you're saying I'm gay.
I didn't even think about that. Whatever, man. It's 2025. We can be.
Yeah, he's got a yacht. You've never seen it?
No.
Oh my God.
I'm definitely.
I got it somewhere. I'll show you a picture before we end today. I will show you a picture of his yacht. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Boats,
Have I ever been on it? Nope.
You're not doing the right thing.
Or on the web.
I'm sorry, G-Man. I'm just fucking with you.
Or on the web at airedoutVT.com and streamed everywhere you get your podcast. Good morning. Birthdays today, Rex.
Yeah.
We have Nelson Bancroft Jr., Stephanie
That
Roberts.
sounds like a very important name.
It does.
He should be like a CEO or something. He should run Doge. He has a name to run Doge.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, birthdays today. Nelson Bancroft Jr. Stephanie Robtoy, Russell Silk, Marjorie Mulligan Fay, Nicole Shaw, and Cornell.
Hey, happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday. Today, Rex, is...
Friday.
Yes, it is. It is Friday.
And I happen to be on the upside of my bipolar roller coaster, and you're on the downside. So this is great. We'll equal this shit right out.
God. Oh, thank you for making me laugh, buddy. National Public Sleeping Day today. When you're encouraged to take a midday nap right where you are, whether it's, on the bus or on a couch or at the movie theater, And as I said this morning, maybe not while you're on the job, and that leads right into the FBQ, the Facebook question of the day. Where's the most embarrassing place you've ever fallen asleep in public? For me, I have fallen asleep not once, but several times at the movie theater. Never on public transportation, I don't think. Sherilyn would probably remember better. But I have fallen asleep in church.
That's a safe place to fall asleep. I bet I could fall asleep there.
In a church?
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, when I go to church.
You go to church?
When life sucks for me and I'm having really bad and I feel like I'm in a hole I can't get out of. Yeah, 100%. I do. Yeah. Right. And so when I go, I'm actually really, really invested into it. So I don't know. I pay attention when I go to church. I never did as a kid. I was forced to go as a kid.
Why don't you
I'm
continue?
not a regular, but every once in a while I just need it. I feel at peace inside.
Why don't you go regularly then? What's stopping you?
I don't know, because I don't need a church to pray to God.
Okay. Well,
I don't need that building, but when I do feel overwhelmed, the church is a great place to just
soothing, comforting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most embarrassing place I have ever fallen asleep is not in the church. It was not that day where I felt this very light tapping on my shoulder from the lady next to me, but rather it was in the dentist chair while I was having my teeth cleaned.
Nice.
And I'll never forget it. You're laying back, you got the shades on, you got the bright light in your face, your eyes are closed, you're reclined.
You have sleep apnea.
I have sleep apnea, which I literally do.
Yep.
Okay. And JD. Yeah, it was horrifically embarrassing. And then I was like, oh, yeah. And then you pretend like, nothing's happened. I wasn't sleeping. 5 minutes later, again.
So it's hard. We were talking about this. For me, I I don't think that it would be hard for me to fall asleep in public. Just once I get out of the military, I like sleeping in public. That would be, you're always sleeping with one eye open. I don't feel safe, and if I don't feel safe, I can't sleep.
I understand.
And it's weird because at home when I go to sleep, in order for me to fall asleep, I have a TV on, a big, huge 70-inch TV, and it's got to be blaring. Otherwise, I can't sleep. I have really bad anxiety and shit because of it. I don't know. It's just one of them things. I'm sure some doctor knows what the reason for it.
Glenn says he fell asleep once getting a tattoo on his leg. That's pretty sad. When you're
no way. Well, I used to own a tattoo shop. We had people fall asleep all the time, dude.
What?
That's the most relaxing time for me. Just yeah.
It's a constant.
Pussy.
Listen, I don't have a tattoo, but I'm thinking about getting one this summer.
You would cry. We're going to videotape because you're going to cry. It hurts so bad. It feels like someone dragging a lit cigarette across your skin.
Well, then how can you fall asleep then?
Because I'm a fucking man. I live through the pain. I enjoy the pain. It helps me sleep.
I wonder if Glenn was hammered.
What's that?
I don't know. Suzanne says she fell.
You don't want to be drunk during a tattoo because you bleed too much.
Okay. Suzanne says she fell asleep at a NASCAR race.
Yeah. Oh, you got to think about the pre-party, the tailgate parties. Pretty easy to fall asleep after them.
That must have been a shitty race. I
mean, think about like Daytona for 3 hours, and you're just, you've been drunk for days.
Oh my
you're
God.
hungover in the sun. Absolutely.
Listen, I'm not really sure what's happening on 89 South between Bolton Flats and Waterbury. I know there was a car accident earlier. I don't know if they've cleared that thing up or not. But yeah, just slow the hell down this morning. Be careful. My God, was it windy at my house?
Yeah, it was.
20s today with partly sunny skies. Tonight, going to be cold. Looks like partly cloudy skies with some snow coming in, 1 to 3 inches. Tomorrow, Saturday, clouds and sun. I don't really know about the temps. I mean, they're all over the place right now. So
it's spring, baby.
Maybe some rain.
We're in spring now. I'm so happy. We're over the hump when it comes to winter. We're in fucking spring level
really?
now.
Yeah.
It's March.
Tomorrow is March.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rex.
Hey,
it's still February.
I got one request today.
Yeah.
Stay the hell off the phone. Let me enjoy my time on the podcast. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect.
Who's staying off the phone? Me staying off the phone?
Yeah, you're always calling people when I'm on the air. This is supposed to be me time. You know I'm a clout whore, and I try to get all the clout myself, but then you go ahead, you do stupid shit, you call people all the time.
I'll call anyone I want to call. Look, what a freaking hypocrite. You're saying stay off the phone. Your phone's blowing up this morning, ringing.
That's Big Kenny. That could have been important. Big Kenny's been having his fingers cut off. They just changed his name from Kenny to Stubbs. So you're lucky. I sent him a message. I said, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna call you right back because Kenny's a good friend of mine.
Tell him to get his ass down here.
Kenny's a super loyal friend. We'll talk about that later. Loyalty.
Tell him to get him down. Tell him to come on down here.
He's probably at my house.
Just quickly, back to the forecast.
Yes.
Rain and snow tomorrow morning before noon. It's going to be probably a little messy for freezing fun for families. Winter co-ed softball tournament,
That's a great tournament.
Isn't it? 25
it
years, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're almost at $1 million in 25 years. And it all stays locally. Fighting pediatric cancer. Local kids. Doesn't get any better than that. I mean, my God.
Well, I think the free kids jiu-jitsu games at Granite City MMA is pretty good for the community, too.
Nice
The
transition.
free law enforcement and first responder courses
Very
up
nice.
there, too.
Very nice
Pretty good for the
transition.
community. Just saying.
I get
Plug in at Granite City MMA.
it. Who is a presenting sponsor. I also want to say
Owner Lucas John.
Lucas John. It was fun to be over there the other night.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
You did, and everybody got to watch the live. I had to delete one of the lives because I videotaped it. It's against the rules, and I knew it. So I am horrible with impulses and shit like that. I have zero control of my impulse. So I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, shit, why didn't I stop and think about that first? And so that's what I did. I videotaped a bunch of fighters. I put it on there, and they don't like to have their their training camps. And
Rex was talking trash to me. Dude, where are you? While I was pulling into the parking lot. And he was still on the phone with me when I busted into the building and came exploding through the doors, taking my shirt off to match you shirtless. You didn't make that didn't make it onto.
Yeah, it did. Well, no, not you taking your shirt off, because as soon as I put that live video on to beat your ass on live video, you put your shirt right back on, you fool.
Montpelier Volkswagen is one of our presenting sponsors too.
Hey, they had some good deals going on the other day.
Yeah,
Those German cars.
I have a friend who will not even talk about any other car other than a Volkswagen.
Right. You know who was like a huge Volkswagen Porsche guy? He was like one of the best in the world. Gabriel Cole's father.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a world famous art guy. He blew glass. That's how Gabe learned how to blow glass. And then he was a specialty. He worked on Porsches and Volkswagen. He had every specialty tool that there was.
No shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Gabe owns the Source.
Yeah, of course.
Up there. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
That's very cool. If you haven't stopped in there yet, check it out. They are really cranking up the heat on some of the new models that are in stock. They've got something for everybody. They've got over 80 new Tiguans on the lot. No money down, big inventory, which of course means big savings. All-wheel drive, leather, heated seats, power seats, sunroof, power lift gate, for people like you, Rex, who have orthopedic issues. No money down. 0% for up to 60 months.
The only reason I have orthopedic issues is because Chris Pratt was punching me in my face last night.
How'd that go?
I didn't realize you needed cardio to be a punching bag. So not only was I a punching bag, I was a punching bag that couldn't breathe.
You can lease one for $396 a month for 36 months. High performance, low pressure, and home of the big deal. Browse their inventory, MontpelierVolkswagen.com. Giroux General Transport.
Oh, yes. Their daughters. I train their daughters at Granite City MMA.
I know you do. And I got to say,
they're awesome. I've taken them under my wing now. So they come and they help out with the kids' jiu-jitsu games. They're just great girls. They're awesome. They really are. All the little girls, there's 3 of them, and they start right from the big girls down to the little girls. And
Tracy's in there.
What? No, she comes to watch.
Oh.
No, but she's a huge supporter. Her and her husband, Bill, they're huge supporters of the gym.
Bill and Tracy Haynes.
Yes. So, and they also own Giroux Transport. So every time they've always helped out at the gym and stuff like that. But I've taken their daughters under the wing because so we have other people that are higher belts that don't always want to help with the little kids because sometimes they feel like maybe they're not getting to do their own drilling and stuff like that. And that's fine because that's your journey. But I enjoy it. I love watching these kids learn. I love watching them get excited.
Yeah.
So now every day they go to the kids' jiu-jitsu. They help out with that.
Okay.
Then they come to my beginners self-defense course. Then they go to the advanced classes. They do every single class that's up there. They're going to be badass little girls.
Wow.
So when they come to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I'm a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I take them to the side, and I specifically work with them. So Lucas, the way that Lucas teaches is we start by drilling. Everything that we learn that week, the techniques, so you have to drill all those techniques. Well, kids are really smart. They are like sponges, and they get through it really quick. Us old people, we have to take that whole half hour, 45 minutes just trying to remember what we did last week to get drilling. So what happens is kids get bored really quick because they don't want to just keep drilling. They can go through it a couple times and they have it down perfect. Me, I got to do it 20 times before I got it down perfect. So what I do is I go over and I take them off to the side, and I take all the little girls. Lily Anderson's one, and then all the other little girls, and I put them to the side. We go through the drills, and they go through it so fast. Then I'm like, all right, cool. Your reward. Tell me any advanced technique you would like me to teach you and break down for you. And then we'll get into leg locks or special sweeps or something that they don't normally get exposed to. So that's how we keep them excited, and that's how we level them up too.
Dude, that's cool as hell.
It's just exciting. That's kind of like my purpose in life these days.
Wow.
Teaching these kids and mentoring them.
Suzanne
Not
says
to be a piece of shit like I was.
I'm just checking the comments here. Suzanne says that she loves taking a nap while getting a tattoo. What the fuck is going on
Absolutely.
with these people? By the way, speaking of Giroux, the next CDL training at Giroux General Transport is starting up March 3rd. That's when now, Rex? That's this Monday.
Wow.
So if
Oh,
you're
get signed up. That's like a guaranteed job. You get a CDL. You're like
guaranteed.
20 people are like, hey,
Oh my
can
God.
you come work for me?
Listen, Tracy Haynes over at Giroux, she's getting phone calls like from companies before they've even started class saying, tell your students they're hired.
Right.
So listen, stop thinking about getting your CDL and just make it happen. Just make it happen.
They have a shit ton of programs, state programs and stuff to help you. You know what the biggest problem
There's
is?
a ton of them. And Tracy
It's
will
that
explain all
pesky
to you.
piss test.
Well, I know, but that's part of it, man.
So it's integrity. Just,
Sure.
you know what? I used to manage a UFC fighter, and he had one fucking job. And instead of keeping that job, he's sitting there. He had just won a fight in Texas. He's waiting for his big check, his bonus check, and instead he got an email from the UFC, and they said, you failed your piss test for marijuana. You don't get anything. He lost that time he lost like $80,000. The time after that he lost $100,000. He had to do that. He lost like $180,000 just to be smart enough to stop smoking pot while he's in training camp. Bro, come on. If you want a real legit job, I did the military. I had to stop smoking pot. I couldn't smoke pot and shit in the military. Sometimes in life we have to make sacrifices, and that's a pretty easy sacrifice to have a really good living.
Listen, if I could go back to high school.
With my knowledge I have now.
Oh,
there would be so many little Rexes running around, it wouldn't even be funny. I would repopulate the earth.
really scaring me. No, I'm serious. I would think about getting my Class A CDL. You know? It's
Not me, because back
then.
then I didn't know I had sleep apnea, and the last thing, and I hated driving because I would fall asleep driving.
Yeah, especially if the snowflakes are coming in.
Oh yeah, like the
doing
old
this.
Star Wars
Oh,
movies.
Jesus. But anyway, Class A takes about 7 weeks. It's the most common. It's the easiest for employment. If you would like to get in on the next class, which is starting up April 28th, sounds like it's far away. It's not. You got to get your permit first before class. Also, 279-3325. That's Tracy. She'll answer all your questions. April 28th. Do not forget that date. BCK Real Estate, if you are buying or selling a home, commercial property, land, you want a brokerage that is dialed in, has the local insight, and really knows what's going on.
What's the guy that owns that?
It's John Biondelillo.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And listen, this guy, he knows what's coming down the big
He's been
pipe.
around for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
He is an expert when it comes to the real estate.
But
He's
he
one of the
also
best.
knows some of the scare tactics that are coming out of the national news, but he also knows what's happening with our market right here.
Yeah, national markets don't always dictate what's happening right here.
No. Don't get scared by it. Give them a call, 479-3366, or just stop in. They're right over here, right next to Subway.
Yeah.
State Farm.
Bobby Bartlett.
Bobby Bartlett.
Yep.
He was
Local guy.
He was just on the air not too long ago.
Yeah, he just did a post because he was talking about how one of his customers, they got into an accident, a family member, and they happened to have State Farm insurance. And like the adjuster was like at the scene and stuff.
Isn't that amazing?
They're pretty quick.
It's a good
when it
damn
comes to
thing.
that stuff.
He just taught me 14% of all drivers in America are uninsured. That's 1 in 7 of all drivers on the road today.
Not gonna lie,
you look
man.
at this-
I have so many vehicles, and I always like, oh shit, my insurance lapse. I usually don't even realize it's lapsed until I get
just
pulled
get on
over.
friggin' auto pay with State Farm, dude.
I never think about that.
It's because you're an asshole.
I am.
But listen, if you count 7 cars that drive by the window right now, one of them isn't insured. That's scary shit. Bobby, good morning, buddy.
Hey, good
Who are
morning.
you talking to?
I got Bobby right here.
Sure you are. Let me talk to him.
Talk to him right now.
Who is this? Bobby
Rex.
from State Farm.
Rex,
What are you wearing, Bobby from State Farm?
I'm wearing khakis today, my friend. She sounds hideous.
Oh, Bobby, share with us the story. What happened? I mean, I read your post and Rex was sharing it too, but
So, yeah, I got a call. We got a call yesterday morning. Actually, we were getting ready to bring my youngest to Jay Peak for his birthday. We had a call from my sister-in-law, who it's one of those calls you get that you know something's wrong immediately because they're in tears, right? So we got a call. Hey, I just got in an accident on the interstate. And we're trying to ask, hey, are you okay? What do you need? She's like, oh, I gotta go. There's a police officer coming over. I'll call you back, right? So we knew she was okay. We knew her child was okay at that point, which was great. It didn't sound like it was a good situation, as we were seeing on like the Vermont Roads Facebook page that there was a big pileup out in Fairfax. So about 30 minutes goes by. She finally calls us back and says, hey, like directly after I got off the phone with you, my phone rang literally 4 minutes after the accident. It was State Farm that said, hey, we were notified that you were in a potential accident. Are you okay and do you need help? So she has the little drive safe and save beacon that State Farm actually that saves you money on your car insurance. Well, part of that, you can opt into having help if there's ever a collision detected. So she had someone that called her, asked her if she was okay, needed medical attention, dispatched a tow truck, and set up a rental car for her in the same call within 10 minutes of the accidents happening.
wow.
So obviously, I, as an agent, I am so proud of that. For any customer, of course, this is a family member on top of that, right? So, like, I'm sitting there being like, I don't have to do a thing here other than just make sure they're in good shape.
Right.
As an agent is fantastic. When you have something like that happen and it's just the perfect situation, I'm going to sort out the details today. Obviously, I'm going to call claims, get everything all kind of squared away on fault and the police that were there for the police report and all that happy stuff on the bad side of things. But the feeling that I got that she was taken care of in that situation, she actually called me this morning and said, hey, I just want to thank you for signing me up for State Farm and making sure I'm taken care of, because I was able to actually focus on the important things. My child in the back seat in that situation, then have to worry about how I'm getting out of that situation. So it was a really big, eye opener for me. And those are the aha moments, we call it here at the office, right? The things that you say, man, that's why we do this. This is the impressive side of insurance, right?
Yeah, it's technology too that is working so well. Bobby, I have a question for you that I meant to ask you when you were here and you were on the air with me, and I forgot to ask you. It's kind of an interesting question, but it's about. I also have that Drive Safe beacon.
Yeah.
That I got from you guys. Which essentially, in a nutshell, it kind of monitors how you're driving, how fast you're braking, how fast you're turning. Are you,
Oh, I shut that thing off every time I get in my wife's car.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. You can't shut it off, Rex. And and Bobby and I had this conversation. He's like, look, a lot of people are like, oh hell no, this is Big Brother watching me and all that shit. But it basically kind of proves that you're halfway decent driver, and it can save you after, what is it, a year, Bobby?
So actually, the program's fantastic. A lot, like you said, I get flack up from a lot of Vermonters that are like, "No, absolutely not. No one's tracking me driving."
Yeah. But I don't think it tracks where you are, though, right?
No, it doesn't. So basically, what it does is it's a discount program.
Yeah.
Right. You can add to your vehicle policy. It's not a rate adjustment. It's a discount program. There's two different things there.
Sure.
So what it does, just for signing up, you get 10% off. Now, that's just your initial calculation at your 6-month renewal with State Farm. Then they take a look at your driving score average, which, as you said, the hard cornering, braking, speeding, that type of thing. They take a look at all that, right? And at that time, they calculate your big discount, right? And that can actually range from 1% to 50% off your rates. Okay.
Wow.
So I have folks that are saving hundreds upon hundreds of dollars on their renewals when that kicks in, and they're like, "What happened? Did something happen? Did you take away coverage?" No, you got a big discount. So this is that same program. Now, even if you're the worst driver, Rex, you're the worst driver.
It's a horrible driver. Horrible.
Your rates are not going to go up. You just would move from the 10% discount to 1% on the program. All right. So that's if you're the worst driver. If you're an average driver, most people average about 20% off. So
what you're saying is you're not going to be showing up at my house at 2:00 in the morning with a police officer knocking on my door saying, "Hey, we're watching you. You need to slow the hell down."
No, we're not. State Farm's not dropping anybody for what they see there.
Okay.
No, I mean,
they should create a government agency just to do that.
Even though I am huge into self accountability on everything.
Yeah.
Right. Like I have a lot. I get folks that call me questioning why the rates went up. It's you just had 2 accidents and made a third claim. So things like that happen on accountability. That's why we always say call the office before you submit a claim. We can talk through it and just make sure it makes sense. But honestly, in these situations, no, you're not going to get dropped. I'm not going to call you and be like, "Hey, listen,"
or lecture me.
You need to slow down.
All right.
So no, not going to happen.
Bobby, quick question here. So I changed vehicles and forgot that my beacon was in my old car. So got this different car and wasn't paying attention, didn't get the warnings saying, "Hey, you need to update your mileage or whatever for your beacon," and it lapsed. So, so can I come and get a new beacon from you and get it into my new rig?
Yeah, you can. We can actually mail one to you, or you can stop by the office to get another one.
Okay.
What happens in that situation? You lose your discount. You lose your 6-month discount. You start from the beginning again.
Yes. Okay. And that was another question I had for you. So what you're saying is all of the outstanding driving practices that I've had over the last 6 months are null and void.
Exactly. Because I bet you you've gotten about 3 emails and at least 4 text messages reminding you had to set that up from my office.
Yes, and I love that. I love that I have the app, which I need to do a better job paying attention to. But the auto pay, all of that stuff. Listen, today is the 28th. This is it. This is the final day of February. Are you still putting your money where your mouth is for today?
I am. $20. If folks are calling and they're saying, "Listen, I heard you on Aired Out. I need my $20." I'll be like, "What do you want to quote on? Let's get this done." And even better news, starting tomorrow Saturday.
Yeah.
Monday,
March 1st.
if you call my office, we're giving out Girl Scout cookie boxes for quotes.
Rex, did you hear that?
No, I can't hear.
He's given out Girl Scout cookies
Are you fucking kidding me?
for quotes. You call, you get a quote.
Oh,
Bobby
I definitely how many boxes do I get? Because I need 10 quotes.
I'll go with you. I'll throw.
I don't want to buy anything, but I definitely need 10 quotes.
See, I've already got.
Does he have those lemon ones? Because those are my favorites.
I've already got all my insurance through Bobby, so I can't get any more quotes.
Nice.
Damn it.
There's all the flavors. We have all the top. We have 5 or 6 of them. The lemon ones are here, Rex. You need life insurance anyway. Come on in.
He's said you need life insurance. Kudos to Nicole and
I think my wife has life insurance
Yeah.
on me.
Nicole, Lisa, Tiffany, Malaya, and Jessica.
You got it.
Thanks for my mug too, buddy.
Yeah, looks good.
I love it. Look at Bobby's going around with these little red rubber duckies. Look at
For the
this.
Jeep people?
Yeah. Yeah, puts it on Jeeps.
Yeah.
Nice.
Every
They do.
time
They
I'm
go
driving
around.
through.
Like Ed Collins owned a Jeep once, and then people were putting them stupid ducks on. They're like, he
My
didn't beat his ass.
Bobby, thank you, buddy. Walk-ins always welcome too. 92 South Main Street.
That's down
and-
across from Abishon's Hardware.
Yes,
In
it
case-
is.
Let's not just give the address. Everybody knows Berry City. If you're coming in, if you've made it to Abishon's on the left-hand side, you've gone too far. Because on the right-hand side,
Yes.
right past Tom Lozon's new building, it used to be the Reynolds house. That's where I got married when Jeff and Cecil owned it.
Yeah.
Just past that. Very first place past the Reynolds house. Let's give real Vermont directions.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to know the address.
Right.
Tell me how to get there. That's how you get there. Across the street from Abishon's.
Bobby, what if people email you? Does that count? Bob at rockcityinsurance.com?
Yeah, absolutely. Email me. A lot of people message me on Facebook. You can find me. I'm not hard to find.
What about text?
Absolutely. You can text the main line, the 802-479-3353. Say, hey, I want a quote. We'll reach out.
$20. Today's the last day of February, the last chance for you to do that. But starting tomorrow, you're going to get Girl Scout cookies.
Yes, and I want them all gone. Otherwise, I'll eat them.
I will help you. Thanks, Bobby.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, love you, pal. He's such a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
And
We got guys. I'm actually working on his house right now. We're doing a bunch of work over there, too.
Yeah, yeah,
I built his little tiny home for his mother-in-law.
such a great guy.
Yeah, they are.
Quickly here, checking some of the Vermont regional headlines from WCAX and PTZ and
All those communist stations.
the clean heat standard has been put on the back burner, and it looks to be over for now. A little over a month since a report was released saying that the clean heat standard would cost $1 billion, Rex, over the next 10 years, right here in Vermont.
So what, a week's pay of Elon?
Week's pay.
You're like billions of dollars, and Elon's like, yeah, I make that a week.
I mean, listen, Republicans obviously have been very outspoken about this, and now Democrats are like, I think we need to reprioritize. It's got to be something.
I don't know. I think they're both fucking us, man. If we're going to be honest, I think they're both fucking us. So we just had one party that went in and they're like, we're going to raise the national deficit $2.7 trillion. And they're like, you motherfuckers, you're spending all of our money. Blah! Then the Republicans come along and they're like, we're going to raise the deficit $4.7 trillion. And they're like, yay! And then you got half the country going, what the hell's going on? But the biggest thing right now, you have the GOP doing everything. It's just constant chaos, right? You have the Democrats going, oh, look at they're doing that. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Well, stop pointing your finger and do something. They're like, well, we're just gonna sit back, let them do all this shitty stuff. But if you vote us in 2 years, we'll make a change. No, go fuck yourself. Fucking stand up and do something. There's nobody fighting for the middle class.
You've been
We're selling the country right now. Can you imagine what this country's going to look like after every millionaire and billionaire buys his $5 million gold card? Huh. I wonder what they would vote in. I wonder if they would vote against slavery. I bet they wouldn't.
Do you know that I've had people tell me, oh, you're going to have Rex on? Oh, that wicked freaking Democrat.
Yeah, I've been called a libtard.
And then I've been told, oh, Rex, oh, my God, that right-winged wacko.
Yeah. I drive a truck. I own guns.
Yeah.
My problem is so people think I'm a liberal because I have a lot of empathy. The older I've gotten, I have a lot of empathy for a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different people. I'm more physically conservative and I'm more socially liberal. And I think most of America is the exact same way. Now, I'm very, very outspoken and I'm very passionate. And I hate, they're like, oh, just shut the news up. I don't get my information from just the news. You see a headline I don't stop at the headline. I'm like, really, what is this fucking all about? So now I have to know. They're like, well, we quoted this study. Well, let me read the study. So I look up the study. But I've lived in third world countries. I've seen civil wars firsthand. I got a comment today, and that comment really bothered me. I mean, I understand politics is really, really, we're in a tinderbox right now. We have 76 million people that voted for one party. We have 75 million people that voted for another party. We're strictly split right down the middle. But a guy made a comment. He doesn't know me at all, but he made a comment today, and the end of the comment said, I'm going to give you a bit of advice. Don't fuck with us Republicans because you saw what we did on January 6th with only hockey sticks. Imagine if we were armed. Okay. I'll tell you the reason why that bothers me is because I'm a veteran myself. I have several combat veteran friends, and not one of them motherfuckers is calling for a civil war. If you have ever watched somebody's soul leave their body, you would never want that again. If you think you do, and you think you're that hard fucking core and everything else, there is a video on Reddit. You want to see what a real civil war looks like? You really do? There's a video on Reddit, and it's a Russian soldier and a Ukrainian soldier. They're by themselves, and they know that each other in there, and they're both trying to kill each other, and it ends up into a hand-to-hand combat situation. For 8 fucking minutes, they stabbed each other. They cut each other's fingers off. You can hear them groaning. You can hear the blood gurgling. That's real life. That is what you want. That's what you want your fellow fucking Americans to do. I've been down that road. And those of you that... And for me, I was lucky for the situation I was in. I was on a QRF. I got to sleep, but most of the time our missions were, at the longest, a week long. So we always got a good sleep. Those guys that went out, for the invasion of the Iraq War, they were fucking in the shit for a year long. So those guys are not on top of a hill screaming for any type of civil war. It's hard to explain that. I mean, we can get passionate about the debates. We can get all of that. But, man, I'm telling you, it's different. Civil wars are not like Hollywood. They're not. There's innocent people that get killed. Even when it comes to killing an enemy, that's and you don't think about it at the time. It's not something that would bother you at the time. The time that it bothers people is when their life is calm and their brain slows down and they have time to think about all this stuff. So be careful what you wish for. That's really the last thing. And you can say, oh, you fucking libtards can't protect yourself. Trust me, libtards, anybody can protect themselves. Little Vietnamese people living in holes protected themselves. It's just... That I guess that bothered me because obviously you've never seen anyone die. You've never seen that soul leave a body. You really haven't, and that is not something to cheer for or threaten somebody with. I'm down. You want to get down to the violence part of it? I've seen the evil that people can do to other humans, and it's horrible. It's fucking horrible. There's stuff right here in our open that people walk by every single day and never see the dark side of shit. So something has to happen. And I know everybody wants to go tit for tat right now. It's like, screw you, you did this to us for 4 years. And they're like, screw you, you did this to us for 4 years. And we're on this tinderbox. And one of two things is going to happen. Which I believe one of two things is going to happen. And that's going to be either another war is going to start, and that's going to bring the country together because we have to go and we have to fight a war. That also scares me because if we don't have NATO allies, a lot of people don't realize we're not the strongest country in the world when it comes to the military. We're a very small military. We can only fight on one front. That's why we had to have so many allies. That was the whole purpose of NATO. That was after 1938, the betrayal of Munich, when Hitler was coming into Czechoslovakia. He was like, I'm going to bring back. He did this. I don't want to get into the whole Hitler thing and the Nazi thing, but we've seen in history what happened. In 1938, Hitler came across took over part of Czechoslovakia. We wanted to avoid a world war. We wanted to avoid a war in Europe. So they sat down and they came up with a peace treaty. They said, Hitler, if you agree to stop right now, we won't put sanctions, we won't do anything, and we'll let you have this part of Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia wasn't even part of the agreement. It was European countries and Hitler, and Hitler said, all right, cool, you let me keep this piece of the country? Well, I'll be good. I'll stop invading. So he took a whole year to build up his army anymore, and a year later he invaded Poland. So here we are, we fast forward 2025. And then this is where I hate like stupid history and information in my brain. I have it in there. It drives me nuts. So now here we are, fast forward to 2025, and you have a delegation meeting with the Russians only who invaded a sovereign country. So I believe I get way too passionate when it comes to politics, but it's because of my own life experiences. It's from being in the military, it's from being in third world countries. It's what I've seen firsthand. I've been in politics before. I hated it. I fucking hated it. You can't make a change. Our system's broken. If you want to make a change, the real change starts grassroots. You have to get in there. You have to get people voted into your city councils, your school boards, and you have to start making those changes at the bottom. We're never going to make changes from the top down and think that something's going to change. Tell me, like, can you imagine
But there's so many of us, Rex, who are just like, fuck it. It's not going to make a difference.
I agree, especially from the top down. But and the other thing is, people don't have time. They don't have the patience to wait. That's where you see the frustration of January 6th. They're like, wait a minute, we've been fighting, and the change didn't come that we asked for. And now they're frustrated. Now they're angry. And now that shift, now it's shifting the other political way. Now we have 75 million people that are angry and feeling the same frustration that those 76 million people felt. So it's a never, and what is that? And we're completely divided. Now you have one side, the right. They want to say, hey, let's all get along now. And now you have the left, who is so hurt from everything that happened. The same thing happened when Joe Biden got in. The left came out and they're like, we should all get along now. We won. We should kiss each other's asses. We should try to find a way to get along. And that never happened. And then we come 4 years later. Now you have the right saying, hey, we should get along. We won. So it's like a never-ending cycle,
Yeah.
to keep us at each other's throat. But I really feel we're at a tinderbox at this point. It's just come down to what's going to happen. We're either going to get brought together with a major event, or we're going to be split apart with a major event. Like if God forbid, but say something happened to Trump, he would be a martyr. That would, right there, I think that something like that could kick off a civil war, because then it would be tit for tat. Oh, your extremist crazies did this, now we're going to do that. I don't know. For me, it's kind of a scary time, because I studied history. Even though my degree's in math and science and technology, I still studied history, and so I don't know. That's where I get my perspective. My perspective does not come from CNN, MSNBC, or anything like that.
There's a lot of waking up that all of us need to be doing, no matter what party you're on, man.
Yeah. So why don't we that brings me to like why my friends these days are the most important people in my life. My friends and my family, and that loyalty with those people are even more important now than ever before in my life.
I think the older you get, there's a shift of the value of that. It becomes more valuable.
I can
have and it's
I have empathy for people. I have empathy for people on both sides of the aisle. I would never shut somebody out of my house because of their political belief. And if you don't believe me, ask her. I think she's still watching. We are total opposites, and I love that girl.
Darcy?
She's one of our great friends. She we do not see eye to eye. We don't even talk politics. We can't talk politics, and we don't. But I appreciate her as a friend. I appreciate her loyalty. I appreciate that with my friends. I have other friends that are right wing, and I cannot agree with them on a lot of things, but they're still, if they needed help, I would 100% help them. Which comes to you. You're one of my good friends. You're one of the nicest dudes, and I say this all the time, and I hate to say this about you, and it's not a dig at you. It's definitely not a dig. But I tell this to people, nice guys finish last. Yes, they do. Nice guys are nice guys because they're forced to be nice guys. But you are, how do I say that? You're just one of the nicest. You're genuine. It's not a fake.
Sucker.
Yeah, okay, you can say sucker, but you're a genuinely nice person. So you end up, people take advantage of that. People that are predators take advantage of people. They can smell that. They're like, oh, that guy's a weak target. The same thing when it comes to children. Predators, they go after children that don't have, stable fathers, stable parents. They're easy. They're easy targets. We talked about this. Believe it or not, people, JD Green was ready to shut everything down, drop a fucking grenade. That's the real reason he was at my gym Wednesday. I had to talk that pussy down because of the anxiety and everything. You don't understand when you're in the spotlight. I have huge shoulders. I'm a prick. Everybody knows I'm a prick. JD is not that guy. And that's the problem is he's like, I just want to say something. I want to speak back out against these people. And I said, why? You never have in your life. Don't turn into a heel now. Don't do that. Don't let the way that somebody else treats you, don't let them change you because of the way they treat you. Move on. Believe it. So what is that exactly what we talked about? You have the fucking one of the best products out here right now. So believe in your own product. Don't change yourself because of somebody else. Be fucking you. Don't change. Don't let anybody else, because that's their control over you. That's their, and it hurt. I think what hurts the most is when you have people that are in your life, you believe they're loyal to you, you believe they're your friends, and then something happens out of the blue and you're like, wow. And I have people that I don't get along with now, but I still don't talk shit. We were friends. We were brothers. You don't call somebody brother, friend, and then shit on them because you had a disagreement. You don't go behind their back and do shitty things to them because you're no longer friends. Just because, Tupac said it, just because I don't want you sitting at my table anymore doesn't mean I don't want you to eat.
Did Tupac really say that?
Yeah, man. Like, for real. That's your character. That's your fucking integrity. You can't call someone a brother and a friend one day and a piece of shit the next. You don't. You just, you know what I mean? You don't. You're like, if I see somebody that is vindictive like that, I don't want to be around them.
I have learned more in the last I don't know, 10 years, really, just about life in general. I mean, I know I'm up 40,000 feet here. And some of that perspective has been brought about with Lily being born 10 years ago.
Yep. Kids change your life, man.
Well, just changing the way I look at a lot of things. But the last couple of years especially, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's some polar field.
2025, the year of me. We don't have the culture to fucking help our neighbors. We don't. Like the Japanese culture, they put little kids at 3-4 years old on a fucking subway. That's how much trust they have in their community. Their culture, their Bushido way is always to help other people succeed. The same exact analogy that we have in our jiu-jitsu gym. Every person in there, like last night, Big Ed hurt his knee, and Ed's one of the biggest guys in there. I am 52 years old. I am definitely not in the shape to be fighting with professional fighters. But last night at 8 o'clock, I was in the ring with fucking Chris, trying to push him, trying to wrestle with him, just trying to do my part to help him get better. That's it. So everybody there, the place, once he got hurt, everybody like rallied around. We're like, hey, we have to help out Chris. He has the biggest fight. So our focus is not ourselves at that point. I sacrificed my body last night for him.
Literally.
And I feel great about it. That is such a great feeling in life, to help somebody else out. It's like one of the best feelings.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you want to help somebody out, this is the worst fucking mentality ever. This is my dad's mentality. Do not expect a return if you really want to help somebody.
Oh.
If you are fucking just helping somebody and you're supposedly doing it out of the goodness of your heart,
God.
don't call them 2 weeks later and go, remember that time I bought you groceries? Dude, my dad used to hold shit over my head like that and stuff. I had to break that trait. I found that, like, I got into a fight. My daughter was 18 years old, and we were this huge screaming match, and she goes, I'm fucking leaving. I'm 18 years old. I don't have to put up with your shit. And I had bought her a car, and she goes, and I was like, you can't take that car. I bought that car. And she's like, fine, you can keep that too. And I was like, instantly, I was like, that's something my father would say. And I was like, I'm sorry. That is your car. I gave that to you. I'm not going to hold that over your head. You can have that car. I'm sorry. We can't do that. As humans, like, if you want to help somebody, help them out of the goodness of your heart and don't ever expect anything in return. If they return that, good, cool. But if you're going to hold that in your back of your head, then you're always going to be an angry person. Look at everything I did for everybody else and nobody. You know why I do it? I do it because it makes me feel good. I'm not doing it to try to get something out of it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I going to get out of you, JD? Naked pictures?
I could say something right now, but I just
when I see one of my friends that are sad, somebody that's getting depressed, somebody that's having a hard time dealing with stuff, if I can make them feel better, even in just that moment, I feel better. It's that energy.
Buddy, you are preaching to the choir here, my man. I mean, when you've been upset, I've done everything.
Yeah, I'm a little different. I close off. I like disappear. I shut my phone. I don't want to talk to people. I don't. But that's something I've been working on with my own wife. We're trying to figure out, like, hormones. There's so many different things. It's not always a mental thing.
Sure,
People think like, I'm going to go to the doctor and I'm going to get a pill and that's going to take care of my depression. A lot of times there's things like exercise. Did you know there's a thing, oxytocin?
Yeah, of course.
So for men,
Yeah.
oxytocin, we release that when we have sex, when we have hugs.
Yeah.
We're physical like that. Without that, you can start to get fatigue, depression, and it comes on real quick when your body's not producing that oxytocin. So there's other things before you go right to the doctor, if you're dealing with that stuff, check your hormones. Check a lot of hormone levels. Start with that. Those are the easiest things to fix. Well, hormone imbalances are a huge, huge thing.
I do have a few people who are reminding me that I do owe them some things. Zach Hughes, I owe him a podcast episode, at least one in here. He was on the air with me the other day by phone, and it was just about Bill Frazier, and it was fantastic. Zach, I got to get you in here. Glenn Brummert has been harassing me on a promise that I have not fulfilled yet.
So what kind of fucking loyal friend are you, man?
Well, that's the thing. It's like I've got to get that Shamrock Shake over to Glenn, and maybe even a Guinness.
Me and Lucas talk about the whole loyalty thing, and because I say stupid shit that Lucas does not agree with.
Yeah.
But he's one of my best friends. So
Sure.
he would never. They had people that have come into the gym and they're like, I have a lot of money, but you got to kick that guy out. And he's like, fuck you, I'd go broke. He's my best friend.
Wow.
100%. He would do that. If I went to the bathroom and I came back and I saw Lucas in a fight, I'm 100% jumping and punching every single person in there, whether he started it or not. afterwards, then we'll figure out who was right or wrong. But at that moment, those are your friends. They are the most priority. You protect your friends. That's where your loyalty really, really comes in. And you'll find out how loyal people are to you when you both have adversity. Me and Lucas have had screaming matches in the middle of the gym on disagreements, okay? Don't think that we just agree on everything. We don't. I left that gym. I sent him a text message, and I said, Lucas, I was fucking out of hand. That is your gym. That was disrespectful for me to talk and scream at you. We should have done that behind closed doors, and I apologize. And then he apologized to me, and he's like, hey, man, I was actually wrong. And, that's how we get over it. We didn't get into that screaming match, and I went home and started sending DMs to everybody in the gym like, Lucas is a dick. You should probably find another place to go. That's vindictive. That's no integrity. You're a piece of shit. Stay away from me, my family, my friends.
Listen, I have learned more, and I tend to learn best the hard way, and I think there's many people that can relate to that. But I have learned more about integrity and loyalty from
the
others.
Biggest piece of shit libtard you've ever had on.
No,
I'm
it's
huge into
just
integrity.
that time is the ultimate test.
Yeah.
And it's like there have been people in my life who have told me, man, I've got your back. I will never turn on you. But time is the proof of that. And I would rather go out of this world having 5 absolutely fucking awesome friends than having 500.
You know the saying we used to have?
There's so many.
I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Wow. I've learned about.
There's very few times in my life that I felt loyalty from people. Number one, Combat Arms. When I went with those guys in the military, you knew for a fact that guy beside you was going to die for you.
Yeah.
At the jiu-jitsu gym, we have loyal fucking people there.
There's
that's how I base my loyalty on my friendships, and my loyalty is, I've had people that close that were willing to die for me.
Right.
So we need to find out if you're that guy. Are you really that guy, or is it just the lip service?
Lip service. And listen, let's be honest. Not to be negative, but I think most of what we're getting out there is lip service. I mean, I guess. You know how
I used to test loyalty?
My father, would always say to me, my brother still says to me, Jesus, you're such a sucker. Why are you so naive? It's because
you're forced to be a nice guy, JD. That's why you're going to come to kickboxing with me.
I wonder if you'll ever shut your fucking ringer
It's
off.
Bernie Sanders. He keeps calling me, man.
Are you trying to get Bernie on the air?
I did try. I've been sending him emails. I'll get him on.
Here?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's try, man.
I pissed him off so badly. Did you know that?
No. Well, that's probably why he's not responding.
He was over at Maria's Bagels one day, a couple of years ago. My buddy Chuck is still beating me up about this.
Oh, no.
So I went over there and I went live on Facebook. I know. Whatever. Sorry. I apologized to Bernie. I went live on Facebook and I walked in. I was just making conversation. Hey, Bernie, how you doing? I was live on Facebook on my phone. And I'm like, hey, man, welcome to Barrie. You're having some coffee. It's a beautiful day. He wasn't very happy about it.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I know. So now you and Chuck are going to keep beating
that's where I come in. That's where I come into politicians.
I was just having fun.
That's what I'm saying, man. Politicians can't relate to us. Billionaires can't relate to us. What the fuck would you have a conversation with Donald Trump about? Oh, what are you doing with your yacht this year? I don't have a yacht, man.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, really, how how do these people even make policy for people like me and you? They've never lived this fucking life.
Yeah.
They've never had to struggle and figure out, like, where the money, the paychecks, what bills you're not going to pay this week so you can buy food for your kids.
Yeah.
They've never had that fucking struggle. How do you relate? How do you do that? How do you I just don't understand that to me.
I wanted to ask you this morning before we close out. First of all, yes, I am watching the Gene Hackman story.
Yeah, what happened there, man? That's crazy.
It's he and his wife and their dog found dead in New Mexico in their home.
I know.
Really whacked out shit, man. And it's like, there's, we don't know what's going on. There was a bunch of pills all over the floor. People are talking about carbon monoxide. And
90 years old?
95 years old. Both. They're
I
both
think
dead.
it looks more. It sounds to me like a homicide, suicide kind of thing. I mean,
Yeah.
at 93 years old, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I wondered about that myself.
I mean, okay, so I had to watch my grandfather die.
But the dog, too?
Yeah, why not? I would take my dog. I absolutely would. I wouldn't leave the fuck. What? I don't want my dog laying around fucking chewing on me and shit. No, you're going with me, baby.
By the way, their bodies were in decomposition. They've been there for a while.
But the way that we kill humans or let humans die is fucking atrocious. When your dog is in pain, you take him to a doctor, they give him a little fucking shot, and they're all done. I sat in my grandfather's room, and this was horrific. My grandfather was the nicest guy. He's always smiling. And I just remember the nurse comes, it's time, it's time. So the whole family runs in there, and he's like trying to smile and die at the same time. And so not to disappoint anybody, I guess. I have no clue. But then he stopped breathing. And I just remember, I was like, holy shit. And you could see the fear in his eyes because there's no more air coming in. And then, and it would start all over again. I was like, we did that twice, and I just remember losing my shit. I was like, why doesn't somebody put a fucking pillow over his head? Why are you making this man suffer like this? Do you not see how much fear he's in right now? That's fucking horrible. I will never leave my death up to somebody else. I'll never do that.
You and I
Fuck you.
could do, and listen to me, I'm serious.
Yep.
We could do an entire podcast episode and maybe 2 or 3 about just this subject alone.
Yep. It's the way that I fucking bullshit. The way
you don't even know how
ever
strongly-
since we changed our culture and took our grandparents out of our fucking homes and started putting them in nursing homes, there's
It's
such
money.
a decline. It's
money.
private prisons, well, I mean, everything's going to be privatized now. We're fucked. I mean, if you privatize everything,
look at what we do for our animals when they're suffering. We say it's time. And we make a decision for them to put them out of their misery in a humane way.
No, I don't think a lot of people realize.
Don't even get me on this freaking.
No. But I don't think. But this is the importance of why we don't want privatized institutions. Okay, so when a billionaire our country is not a business. We don't run on profit and loss. That is we are a service. The federal government provides a service to the American people with the money that they provide to the federal government. Okay,
Yeah.
it is not for profit. If you change that for profit, what happens? Look at our healthcare industry. For profit, nobody can fucking afford it.
Yeah.
So your private prisons. How's that?
Wait a minute. It is the law in Vermont to have affordable health insurance.
Yeah. So but what I'm saying is once you privatize, now you're switching. You're no longer a service-based, you're profit-based. So if I can't make a profit off you, I'm not going to take care of you. The private prisons, the food, the high-carb, high-fat fucking diets with minimal shit, it's fucking horrible. So once you privatize every one of those government agencies, it becomes a for-profit business. And do you think that benefits the people using that service, or do you think it benefits the people making the money off of that service?
Yeah.
So it's just something to think about, and I don't care.
Do you hear
I'm 52 years old. I probably have 20, 30 years in me left. It's my kids, it's my grandkids, it's you young people. These are things that are emotionally responding and being like, yeah, that's the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
there's consequences that come with it. There's long lasting, like
Sure.
right or left. We'll just talk about the consequences when one of the favorite presidents of the Democrats was Bill Clinton. Okay. Bill Clinton that went straight to his head too, because he was so popular. He couldn't lose. And he got like millions of people to come out and vote for him. Everybody's like, oh, that guy's a god. The Democrats just love that guy. He started passing things, partisan policies, and just boom, one right after another. Vote. Well, that
He's
shift
riding the wave.
Oh, you're fucking right. Well, that shift of power, Americans came out. They're like, whoa, calm the fuck down. So they went out and they voted in 2 years. They voted him out. They didn't vote him out. In the midterm elections, the Democrats lost in a landslide. They lost the House. They lost the Senate. Okay, and they lost to a supermajority. So, but after he left, he had put in so many partisan policies in place. Remember the housing crash, the housing crisis, because they did these partisan policies and pushed it out there. And it was they didn't think about consequences. It was the emotional response. It was the quick, it was that populist demand. So think about what we're actually asking for and what happens if those plans go through.
Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm keeping the camera on you because I want to see your face.
They're already understaffed. You have fucking veterans committing suicide in the parking lots.
Has temporarily suspended billions of dollars in planned contract cuts following concerns that the move would hurt critical veterans' health services. Lawmakers and veterans service organizations made this announcement on Wednesday.
So this is tough, man. So I agree with cuts. I think we need to be downsized. I think we're a bloated government. I 100% agree with that. Okay. My problem is they are lying to us. They're telling us that they want to shrink the government. They want to shrink our deficit. But they're adding to the government. They're adding to our deficit. They're telling us that we have to make sacrifices while our presidents, our vice presidents, 3 weeks in are spending $5 million to take a ski trip here to Vermont or go to Mar-a-Lago or, I understand paid vacations. I 100%. We all get paid vacations. But you don't start a federal job in your first 3 weeks, ask for a full paid vacation that's going to cost the taxpayers $5 million. Well, you're asking us to sacrifice. This goes all the way back to the very first, and I never realized how much it bothered me until my wife was deployed. A lot of my friends were deployed, and I watched George Bush playing golf. So I was like, you have people dying, you have people fucking getting killed, and you're on vacation right now. This should be like number one priority. You should be at your job. Governor Douglas.
You're wearing a Bush shirt right now, bud.
First Bush. I actually signed up for the first Gulf War. I was 17 years old, signing my military paperwork for the infantry when I was watching that invasion.
How old were you?
17. I turned 18 at Fort Benning. So it bothered me that I just felt like at that point politicians didn't really care. The only one, like our local Jim Douglas, that motherfucker cared about people. I walked into that room. There was all of us in there getting ready to deploy, send them out. And that son of a bitch kicked every single one of the media people out so he could personally meet every single person. He didn't take a day off when people were deployed. That was a fucking man with integrity. Right there. And it bothered him that Vermonters were dying.
Yeah. Jim was straight up, man. He was a fantastic governor. I miss him so much.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's still involved a little bit with politics, but what a great guy.
Yeah.
By the way, a federal judge in San Fran yesterday found that the mass firings of probationary employees likely unlawful, granting some temporary relief to a coalition of labor unions and organizations that have sued to stop the Trump administration's massive trimming.
Like I said, man, we need trimming. We need it.
Unlawful. Said unlawful.
But What is it for? Is it to lower our taxes? Is it to put more money in our pocket? What is it? So I read the
Wait a
ITEP.
second. Are you and I talking about politics?
Okay,
We're not supposed
I
to talk
am,
about
but this
politics.
is where I agree. I agree on slimming it down. I agree with cutting our bloated expenses. We have an OIG, the Office of Inspector General, that is finding fraud and waste. Last year alone, they found $93 billion in waste. We didn't do anything about it. As a matter of fact, the House just passed another budget to add yesterday to send up to the Senate that adds $4.7 trillion to our deficit. And they're trying to cut $4 trillion out of our social programs to cover what? What are we covering? So then you go into the ITEP analysis of the 2025 tax plan, and the biggest tax break is the top 5%. The biggest tax increases is the lowest percent. So we all have, so when you start at the first 20%, it's a $600 tax increase, $1,500 tax increase, $2,000 tax increase. If you make over $360,000, you got a $7,000 tax decrease. If you make over a certain amount if you make over $1 million, it's a $37,000 tax. I mean, I understand billionaires are struggling. Times are tough. They need it way more than the fucking single mother collecting SNAP and, Similac.
Of course.
I mean, fuck them. Get a job. Stop being a fucking lazy bastard. These billionaires are working pretty hard. They need it. So that's my problem. Like, we make up these bullshit things on where we're going to, and the Democrats do the same thing. They cut taxes, so they cut taxes on our military so that we can blow up the social programs, and the middle class gets fucked again.
President Trump says he plans to impose tariffs on Canada and Mexico starting next Tuesday, in addition to doubling the 10% universal tariff charged on imports from China. Posting on Truth Social, Trump says that illicit drugs, such as fentanyl, are being smuggled into the United States at unacceptable rates, and that import taxes would force other countries to crack down on the trafficking. So it looks like Tuesday, this is...
Okay, I'm a builder. If you are having any kind of work done this spring, buy your fucking materials right now.
You said that last time.
We get our plywood from Canada. We get the majority of our shingles from Canada. It's your now, but hey, if you feel it's your patriotic duty to pay more, fucking do it, baby.
Wow.
Can you believe that spin? It's now your patriotic duty to pay $18 for a dozen eggs. If you're a real fucking American, you'll go out and spend money right now. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. You got to come up with a better spin.
You know what?
I like the fucking, I'm going to send everybody $5,000. That was an easy payoff right there.
Only if we can cut a certain amount of money by the end of 2020.
You absolutely can. When they cut Social Security and Medicaid, it'd be easy. Fuck them old people.
Lawmakers here in Vermont are drawing up a bill right now. Are you interrupting me?
I am interrupting you. Can you know how you lower the cost of Medicaid and Medicare and all that? Imagine if we were a social culture again where families stayed together and your grandparents lived with you and stuff and all that, and we stayed as a family structure. Wild how fucking expenses go down just by keeping a family together.
And eating well. Imagine that. Lawmakers here in Vermont drawing up a bill right now, Rex.
Yes.
Regulating vehicle noise in Vermont. We're talking about modified exhaust and Jake brakes.
I hate them stupid. I used to live on Summer Street. Listen to that. They would come right down Maple Avenue.
Are you talking about the Jake brakes, or are you talking about
the
exhaust that sounds like a gunshot?
Oh, Jesus, those are funny. I can't say nothing. Bro, who are you talking to? I drive a Harley.
I know, but
I was a kid that used to rip the fucking exhaust off my Camaro, my 1980 Camaro, so it was super loud. I get it. They're kids. We were all kids once, but
Well, it's noise pollution.
I know it is. I get it.
I mean-
I hate to turn into one of them old people. Get off the lawn, you little bastard. I can't do that.
I love that face. That was beautiful. Joe Edson just modified his exhaust, but it wasn't intentionally. He passed by South End Cumbies, and that did the trick right there. Department of Corrections in New York.
Another fucking scam.
Boy, them and the union apparently reached a deal to end the prison strikes. They're basically saying, we'll give you, instead of time and a half, we'll give you double time and a half.
And you continue to kill fucking handcuffed fucking people.
But
That's the system. They're rewarding them fucking guys for a mediocre job. And we're over here firing people that just don't respond to an email. You got guys killing motherfuckers in handcuffs. And you're like, all right, guys, now you're doing such a great job. Let's give you double time. I'd have fired every one of them motherfuckers and started over.
part of the deal, they have to get back to work immediately starting tomorrow, March 1st. Vermont congressional delegation held a virtual statewide town hall. 24,000 Vermonters tuned in.
Those are not going well right now.
No, they're not.
Do you see that lady that got dragged out of that town hall in Idaho
No.
by those guys? Dude,
No.
they're in civilian clothes, no badges, security, nothing. Wouldn't tell them who it was and dragged the lady the fuck out of that because she spoke out at a town meeting. They're starting to use like private security people and shit.
Let's
100%. If a private security grabs you, they are not law enforcement. You fight them, motherfuckers. 100%. You fight them. Tooth and nail. If they don't show you a badge and they refuse to show you a badge, the fight is on. Me and you just think about it this way. If we're out on the fucking street and some stranger grabs a hold of me and tries to drag me somewhere, what do you think's going to happen? Fight's on, ain't it, motherfucker? Same thing anywhere you're at, 100%. You if somebody uses physical violence against you, you retaliate with physical violence.
I'm just hoping that Lucas John doesn't go to any of these town halls.
Right?
Small employers enrolling in Vermont Saves ahead of the deadline for the open enrollment. This is all about their free retirement savings program. The deadline is tomorrow, March 1st. And under the law, eligible employers must sign up or formally opt out. Small businesses and nonprofit organizations have this opportunity for a free retirement savings plan for the workers. Under state law, businesses and nonprofits with 5 or more employees that do not currently offer retirement benefits like a 401k are now required to enroll in this Vermont Saves program. Required.
This is why local politics is way more important than fucking nationwide politics.
My God.
And it's so hard, man, because we live in Vermont, and in order to live in Vermont, you have to work really hard. In order to be a politician, you have to be rich and come from another state. That's really, like, our politicians, I guarantee most of them up there. I don't know. I could be talking out my ass, please. I've never looked it up, but it just seems to me like there's a lot of transplants or people that came up here because they don't seem to be following Vermont values with. I mean, I grew up here. I'm 52 years old. I talk to a lot of Vermonters, and I mean, we have our hippie dippies. We've always had that. That's the cool thing about Vermont. We had our progressives, we had our hippie dippies, but we all still pretty much had the same Vermont values, and it doesn't seem like that's translating to our state house anymore. So how do you change that? You said so. That's how do you change that? That a working man can become a politician. Like, how can we afford to fight the system when the system is already rigged against us? How do you tell me that the system's not for rich people when they're the only ones that can run for politics? But then again, now you only have rich people. So how do you get a rich person to relate to your struggles? That's the conundrum.
Yeah.
So
boy,
maybe, you know what? Maybe it'll be a good thing when they burn the federal government down and everybody gets to see what happens when billionaires, oligarchs run the country and everything's privatized.
Sure.
You'll see the French Revolution again. You'll see just like in Iran with the. But we used to go to Iran. That was the millionaires' paradise. Americans used to vacation in Iran. Guess what? They saw all these rich people coming in, and they had only rich and poor in Iran. The rich people didn't understand the struggle. They paid taxes. They saw a rich king going on these lavish vacations. They watched people struggle. They watched all these Americans coming over there spending money, and they were poor. All of a sudden, the Ayatollah started a revolution.
Khomeini.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's cool to say the cool guy won or whatever it is, but be careful what you wish for. Really, and I hate. I love to debate. I really try to not be a dick, but sometimes it just comes out of me. I get so frustrated, and it's my own fault because I will start talking with somebody, and I'm like, why the fuck am I even talking to him? He doesn't understand basic civics. But then I get to the point, I'm like, but who else is going to tell these people? Like, maybe I can help educate just a little bit so they can make at least an educated decision. You know, take all the facts in before you. That's all I ask. Take all the facts in.
But you
before,
also say about yourself, Rex, I'm not always right.
No. Fuck no. Fuck no. I have really strong opinions. I have biased opinions. Like, especially when it comes to immigration. I used to live with those people.
Yeah.
I have bias. I have empathy for those people. I have empathy for poor people because I was a poor person. I have zero empathy for billionaires. Sorry, guys. I don't. I don't feel bad for you. I do not feel bad. I do not understand why the top 5% people that make over $1 million, $5 million, why do they need a tax break? Are they asking for Warren Buffett's not coming out and going, Jesus Christ, I'm paying too much in taxes. No, they're not. I'm against taxes for everybody. I think taxation's theft. I think a lot of our taxes go to bullshit. But why are we giving the ruling class a huge tax break and raising taxes on the lower class? It makes no sense to me.
Bloomberg Billionaires Index just published that Elon Musk has lost, are you sitting down? Has lost a net worth this year of $52 billion. And he is still the richest person on the planet.
Oh yeah, because the Tesla thing is starting to. So he is only he does he is
see
not.
What's going on with the swastikas all over the Teslas now?
Well, don't go to a right-wing neo-Nazi party in Germany, and then right after you get done doing the Zeke Heil twice. Get the fuck out of here, you dummy. How can you not know? Like, I own a business, and I know I could, if I walked out on the street and started fucking Zeke Heiling and doing the old goose step, you think I might lose some customers? Come on, dummy. Even I'm smart enough to know that. And that's where, like, I try to, the whole politics things and stuff like that. I see some of my friends, and they'll say things, and I'm like, oh, man, that's online. People are going to see that. And I've said dumb shit that I wish didn't get posted online, but I did. And it can affect your business because I have friends on both sides. And so I have my friends on the right, and then I have friends on the left, and then they're like posting those business names. These guys are right-wing Nazis. And so it's just, I hate to see that because they are local people, and I don't want to see our business get trashed.
Right,
politics.
Of course.
That's not really, and it's tough because everybody's so passionate. They have those strong feelings. They feel like you're supporting Hitler when you do that, so they justify it that way. Yeah. And it's not really. Those people are your neighbors. You need to sit down with your neighbors, and you need to explain your fears to your neighbors, why you have these fears. They're legitimate fears. I'm not just a crazy fuck.
You and Eddie Blow haven't killed each other.
No, fuck no. Me and Eddie Blow have been neighbors forever. Eddie is so far right, it's not even funny. And we do not see eye to eye on a lot of politics. So But that's fine. He's still my neighbor. I still drive my Bobcat down there. I clear his I snow blow at the front of his driveway. I clear his mailbox. Community and neighbors, because why? What do you have when the system fails? That's all you have. And if you fuck your community and neighbors over, relying on the government to take care of you, like, if you sit around and you go, fuck everybody, that's a liberal, fuck everybody, that's a Democrat, now all of a sudden there's no Democrats or Republicans and there's only neighbors left. Pretty shitty situation. Hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but, the federal government crashed and I noticed you had chickens and I don't have any eggs and there's no food. I was just wondering. I know I called you a liberal piece of shit and all.
I know I called you a liberal piece of shit, but I'm trying to make zucchini bread right now, and I can't do it without an egg. I need just one egg. Sherilyn.
We get too comfortable online saying shit.
Sherilyn had the thing yesterday where she was like, honey, we need to get some more chickens.
Yes. Oh, me and Taylor, but me, Brenda, we've been searching online. So, dude, we came across, they were selling fucking layer chickens for $270.
Oh, my God.
Come on, for a Rhode Island Red. Get the fuck out of here.
You know what I said to her? I said, we need a rooster.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I said that.
We are gonna start incubating.
Will you get me one?
Yeah.
Can
no,
I
have a rooster already. We're gonna get a dozen Rhode Island Reds.
Right.
We're looking, but the chicks right now you can't even get till July. So we're looking at other places to get the. If anybody knows where I can get Rhode Island Reds, I need a dozen Rhode Island Reds is what I want, and yeah, because we're gonna start making our own chicken. I don't have a good feeling, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
We saw what happened with people when we had a toilet paper shortage. Can you imagine when we don't have food on those shelves? But hey, it's your patriotic duty just to go pay more. What if you don't have the money to pay more?
Glenn Bremer's starting to scare me. He said, bring back the guillotine. Maybe I will bring him that Shamrock Shake today. Jesus.
Yeah, he's right. He's talking about for those of you that have never studied history and you're not above 30 years old, he's talking about the French Revolution and Marie Antoinette.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the rich people that I was talking about. They would have these lavish parties and they announced it to everybody, and there was people living on the streets just eating dirt, rats, everything else.
Half
dying.
a mile down the road.
Yep. So when they got a hold of her, they put her in a guillotine and they fucking chopped her head off.
Yeah.
And
if you gotta go though, that's a good way. If you gotta go,
But I mean, are you really dead? Because there was that. Remember that thing? They said that like people's eyes would blink every once in a while.
Sure.
Oh,
That's
fuck that! You'd be like, oh
That's
shit,
just
man.
muscle. It's just muscle reaction, whatever the hell they
How
call
long?
that.
Well, you don't
What is
know
that called? That's
Have you
called
ever
something.
Have you ever hooked up a brain EKG, chopped their head off, and see how long it kept on trucking? Maybe that's not the best way to go. Maybe it's the best way to go for a politician, but I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm ready to do that.
Thank you for coming in here, buddy.
Always, my man.
Fridays are.
You know what we need to do?
So interesting.
This is what we need to do. I need two sponsors.
We haven't even talked about the Battle in Barrie 16, March 22nd.
Yeah, everybody knows that March 16th, Battle in Barrie is happening at the Barrie Auditorium. The number one guy is fighting for the title against the number 14 guy here, the local guy, Chris Perot. Everybody already knows this. I don't need to keep talking about it.
But they don't know that how fast tickets are selling on Donnybrook Fight Promotions.
Yeah, the front row VIP is sold out. We still have second row VIP. We have some certain seats on the VIP tables that are $100 a piece. We have a few of them left. General admission tickets you can get at DonnybrookFightPromotions.com. Always. You can check us out on Facebook. We have an event on Facebook. You can buy the tickets right straight through there. Make sure to click on a ticket. So
pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. You can buy the pay-per-view if you can't make it on DonnybrookFightPromotions.com.
Brummert's not going to miss it for the world. I want to get in the cage with Brummert.
Yeah.
Beat his ass.
So I don't have to keep talking about it. Everybody knows about it. But I do need two sponsors. I need two sponsors. And I'm going to keep this on the down low. I have a young kid, and I'm not going to mention, I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I'm not trying to. His parents come and drop him off. And I'm just going to say his parents just drop him off, and I can't say no to a kid.
Drop him off where?
At Granite City MMA. I need to get a sponsor for gear and a monthly subscription for him to train before Lucas knows I'm letting him in for free. Because Lucas will kick him out. It's still a business, and I can't. I have too much empathy. I can't. He's a struggling little kid, and he needs this. So I need a sponsor. It's $60 a month. It's $105 for a gi. That's it. I'm looking for $60 a month. I'm looking for $105 for this kid. This money, this is not going to the gym. This is specifically helping a kid in the fucking community that needs it. That's where the money's going, and I need a sponsor for that. I really do. The other thing I want is I want a sponsor for this show. Just for me. I want to talk shit about a sponsor. I want to talk about your business. I want to help raise your business up here. And I get a lot of viewers, man. A lot of people want to hear me talk shit. Whether they like me, hate me, they still fucking watch me. Right, John Anderson? I love you, buddy. And the other people, the ones that watch it, thank you. We appreciate it. The sponsors appreciate it. I want a sponsor just specifically for today. If you want your business advertised and you want 6,000-7,000 people seeing you on a Friday, get a hold of JD. We will work it out. You can sponsor this show. How you like that one, JD? 2 sponsors. That's what I need today. 2 sponsors.
Don't I make these decisions of who sponsors what? Or how it's going
to... not today. If you want to help a local kid, $60 and $100. $60 a month. Even if we could split it up, if you had $20, $30.
How do people do this? Do they call you?
Yeah, send me a DM and I'll set you up because I have a QR code and you can actually just click on it and set up the automatic payments for him. Yeah, that's how we do it.
You're trying to save this kid.
100%, man.
Okay.
I'm just afraid this kid's going to fall through the cracks. And I don't want to say a lot about the situation. I don't want to say anything. I really don't. And that's the hardest part because if I told you the story, you would fucking bawl.
Okay. Let's see what can happen.
$60 a month, you could change a kid's life.
Okay.
You know what? I changed a kid's life once by saving them when they were a baby. They were a little kid. And they fucking, me, my wife, and her mother, she was running around and she fell and she had something in her mouth, choked on it. My wife and the mother didn't know what to do. They freaked out. She was turning blue. They ran to go call an ambulance, and I fucking grabbed that little baby out of her hands, and I reached in her mouth, and I fucking right down her throat pulled that thing out. She calls me Friend Rex to this day. She is now just graduated from UVM. Yeah.
Get her in here, man.
She's in the health field now.
Get her in here.
I'll try. I'll see. She's on in Vermont all the time. Great fucking kid.
Wow.
Just a great kid. So you never know throughout life what your actions, the impact, the ripple effect you'll have on somebody's life throughout. So now that I'm 52 years old, I understand the ripple effects and the little things the little impacts that you put on people's lives, what a profound effect you can have throughout their life. That's why I do these speeches and talk about integrity with the little kids, because I have their attention. I understand those. And you never know until like why?
Yeah.
Why was I there? Why did this happen? That was a horrible event. Why was it? Why did these things happen? You don't realize till later in life why you were there. I was specifically put there for that reason.
I want to drop the community calendar here before we skip. It's brought to you by The World, Central Vermont's favorite weekly newspaper, with over 22,000 copies getting into the hands of Vermonters every single week. Don't miss the digital version. It's online, vt-world.com. School vacation, stick and puck this week at the BOR. It starts in 2 hours. Bring your helmet and gloves. They're both required.
Oh, dude, already, man. Check that out.
What do you got?
Huge fucking shout out. Kidder Interior happens to be one of my sponsors for Donnybrook Fight Promotion. He's going to take care of the kid. Fuck yeah. Thank you, Kidder's Interior. People, hire Kidder's Interior. That motherfucker is helping people in the community right now. With the money that he's making in the community, that money staying in the community. It's a local business sponsoring a local fucking kid. Look at that. 10 seconds? We found a sponsor for that motherfucking kid.
Amazing.
Awesome. I love you guys.
I love these things right here.
Yeah.
These things. Freezing Fun for Families Winter Co-ed Softball Tournament 2025, the 25th year. It starts officially tomorrow morning. It's going to be at the Barrytown Rec Fields, of course, Websterville Road in Barry. Raising a whole lot of dough in the snow for Vermont families that are battling pediatric cancer. And we've got 6 kids that are recipients this year of the money raised. The goal, $275,000, and we're talking about an event that is up around $1 million, man. I mean,
That's
this is
fucking incredible.
really amazing.
You guys are awesome.
Team registration is closed, but you can still get on mygiving.net and make a donation there, no matter where you are in the country. But this tournament is 2 days. It's Saturday, tomorrow, and Sunday, right at the Barrytown Rec Fields. No matter what the weather's doing, people will be out there. Some people will be asshats and playing in shorts and socks.
Those Cass all the time. Them guys were always in shorts.
All the time.
My son's like that too.
Yeah, hashtag We Are Family.
High testosterone.
Make sure Freezing Fun for Families is a Facebook page that you're checking out today. Like them, follow them. I'll be there tomorrow for the Home Run Derby. And it's going to be a blast, man. 12
state wrestling tournament at the Barry Auditorium this weekend. If you have any wrestler, it's huge. It's the end of the year. Big stadium up at the auditorium. It's been a long time since we've had it down here. So
all right.
Shout out to Darren O'Mara, all them guys down there. Spalding. Good luck, Spalding.
Yeah.
They just beat Mount Anthony in a dual meet. So
there's so much going on.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna absolutely be at the wrestling tournament. I can't, dude. I'm an old wrestler.
Yeah.
And if
you're
have
going up to that,
you're fucking right.
Good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know who else we're gonna have on here? Well, either I have to go interview him because I can't get his lazy ass down here, or I'm going to get Tom Jakes down here. I'm going to go get Adam Lash. I can't get Adam Lash to come down here, so I'm going to have to go to one of his events, and I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to interview him just like I did for Granite City MMA.
Oh, you guys did such a great job on Monday.
You like my daughter's production and shit?
It was amazing.
And I won it. I had no... Dude, that was all in my head.
How many thousands of people saw what you guys did Monday and Tuesday here on Aired Out? Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was crazy how many people saw that.
Is Lucas aware of the number?
No, Lucas just runs blindly through life. He's not aware of anything except his fighters.
You gotta beat his ass.
He does. I don't even think he knows what day it is half the time. He goes to work. He's like a fucking robot.
Yeah.
I go to work. I go train fighters.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to leave the jiu-jitsu. I'm going to leave some other things up to you guys. But he's like on, especially right now, it's fight camp. So it's all fighter mode.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
boom,
yeah.
Boom, boom, boom,
sure,
boom, boom.
Sure. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rex Thompson.
Oh, wait. Rex, say goodbye, Athena.
That's Athena.
Oh, baby. Come here, baby.
What's the weight on the scale for Athena?
Athena is 3.2 pounds. Oh, baby. So this dog, I say it's my service dog, but she's not really. But when I start getting like really high anxiety and shit, she will come up and stuff her face. She puts her nose right against my nose.
She knows.
And she won't leave.
I want to go out with glance at your phone here because I'm going to put up right on the monitor right now G's boat.
Oh.
Have a look. It's on the screen right now.
You're really going to make me turn gay, aren't you?
He's down in Miami. They're cruising the eastern seaboard right now, headed for the Western Caribbean. He and Jed.
Jed?
Yeah.
Jed.
That's G's man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Judd.
No, Jed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they've been cruising around.
You're fucking kidding me.
Not kidding
Is that
you.
really his boat?
Yes.
G-Man, my man, get a hold of me. You never knew this about me, but I'm definitely gay. If that's your boat, I'm definitely a gay dude.